Oh, hey. Hey, everybody. I'm Coppolino. I'm a stand-up comic. And that's how I start all my recordings off. You know, I don't have to prove anything. I just say it. No, hey, I'm Mike Coppolino. I'm a stand-up comic. And I'm here to tell some jokes in the High Dive parking lot. It's whatever the last day of February, first day of March is. Like, this day is not a good concept. It's not a good day for, like, people who do drugs and can't remember, like, what days are. This is not the day for that, because I don't know. Is there an extra day this year or not? But I don't even keep track of the day, like, before the day that's the extra day. So I don't know. I don't pay bills. Why should I care? All right? I'm going to turn on the microphone now. So I'm going to share this obnoxiousness with everybody. Oh, hey. Hey, everybody. I'm Mike Coppolino. I'm a stand-up comedian. How are you? Yeah, I'm a stand-up comic, and I look like I smell. Yeah, I look like drugs. Thank you. Yeah, so I've been taking pills for anxiety, because this is a joke. I've been taking pills for anxiety, and so far it's been terrifying. It's the truth. It's the truth. I actually had to complain to my doctor about it. I said, "Doctor, these pills are working perfectly. You gotta do something about it." My doctor said, "Relax. Relax, Mr. Coppolino. Calm down. I know what I'm doing." I said, "Of course you know what you're doing. You're a great white shark." Yeah, my doctor is a great white shark in this joke, and he's 11 feet long. And he prescribes jump scare videos. That's what my doctor's like, because I don't have insurance. That's what I get. You know? Like, I actually walked up to an emergency room one time with, like, kidney stones, and a doctor grabbed my hands and told me to quit beating the shit out of myself. Like, that was his prescription for me. He just grabbed my hands and said, "Quit hitting yourself in the face." And then I walked home because I took a cab to the hospital. I was trying to be frugal. Like, I didn't take an ambulance. I took a cab there. I tipped him with the extra money, like I had. It's like a $20 cab ride. And that was an ambulance, because that's my budgetary, like, scale. Ugh, man. You know, sometimes I think people are stupid, and then they get angry because they're telepathetic. I can't do anything about it. Like, I just walk around, and this is what happens to me. And I'm a stand-up comic, so there's a lot of people that are really confident in my world, and they have careers because they're just as loud as I am. That's all a comic has to be. They just have to be as loud as I am, and they're a comedian. So sometimes there's some real idiots, and you can't say anything because they don't know it. So you have to roast them. So I sometimes roast other comics, and I'm ruthless. Like, I'm just terrible. Like, I roasted a guy that was, like, made out of, like, scrotal hair. Like, he had balding problems, and he was made out of scrotal hair, but he didn't shave any of it. So he's just a big ball of scrotal hair that's like 270 pounds. I had to roast that guy. And he is, like, respected. I mean, but sometimes I get, like, a break. Sometimes I get a break, and I just, like, get to roast a flat earther. I get to roast a flat earther sometimes because flat earthers also think they're comedians. And they actually are, because they're, like, some sort of, like, demographic. Flat earthers are a demographic. Like, if you're a flat earther that performs, like, 300 people will show up. You know? That's what it's like now. And they'll pay $10 to listen to you. You know? But I got to roast a flat earther the other day. So, in front of, like, 200 people, I just told this flat earther to just walk into space. Just walk into space. Just find the edge. Do a bunch of drugs. Find the edge of the earth and look at it. That's what I told him to do. And then I told him to just build his own rocket ship. Because that's a real concept for a flat earther. Just build your own rocket ship. It actually happened. That's how you roast a flat earther. Just let him build it, and then let him rely on like his physics, whatever his physics are for like building a rocket ship. And his physics are just believe hard enough. That's the physics of a flat Earth, like astronaut. Just believe hard enough, and I can already do that. But I'm not going to build a fucking rocket ship because I know what atmospheric pressure is. I know there's no oxygen in space. I know I'm just not going to build a jet engine and just launch myself into space because there's such a thing as rocket science. Like, rocket science exists. That's like, you just have to like read all the books. You have to know there's no oxygen in space. You just can't go out there and just grab some moon cheese because you built a rocket ship. Yeah? Not that this is like roasting a flat earther at all, because is a flat earther even going to get this? I mean, all you have to have is like drive. Just to drive to get what you're going to get done, and just explain it to people, and just keep explaining it to people. You can just keep explaining it to people. That's like the most tiring thing about being smart. I mean, they got it nailed. Oh, God. That's how you roast a flat earther, but how can they understand it? Like, these are just going to be smart jokes from now on. No, not really, but there will be smart jokes from now on. Like, here's a smart joke, you know. Here's a smart joke. I have to think about it. Have you heard... Do you know that William Shatner actually sings? First off, do you know that there's a person called Captain Kirk, and he's on Star Trek? And Captain Kirk is an actor, but he also sings, and he has 14 albums. And I've heard all of his albums because I'm a huge fan. Like, I love William Shatner, but the latest album was just terrible. Like, terrible in a unique William Shatner sort of way. Yeah, William Shatner's latest album is just keep coming up with numbers. That's his latest album. It's a concept album. Just keep coming up with numbers. And he sings all these covers that are numerically themed. Like, I heard this cover of 8675309, and I thought this is like amazing, but yet it's the worst. Because it's William Shatner singing that song. And it wasn't melodic at all. It was not melodic at all. William Shatner just kept repeating the number until you got it. That's all he did. It was a concept album. Yeah, he just kept saying 86, 75,399. That's a smart joke. 8,675,399. Let me just be fucking autistic for a second and say, I'm not some boomer, alright? I'm not some fucking boomer. Like, I remember reality, but I'm not a boomer. I'm actually the first Gen Xer. I'm the original Gen Xer. That's it. Like, I have gray hair. It sucks. I have bad teeth. That also sucks, but I'm a Gen Xer. I'm the first of them. Yeah, I represent their culture. And I know I'm like the first Gen Xer because when I was in kindergarten, I made an ashtray in class. I went to an art kindergarten, and we made ashtrays in class. And I got graded on it. I got graded on making an ashtray in kindergarten, and my grade was right on. Yeah, because it was 1974, and everybody was on drugs. Like, my kindergarten teacher was on drugs. And you could tell because of all the clothing. And I was 5 years old, and I brought this ashtray home to my parents, and my parents were like super excited to see it. They said, this is a swell ashtray. This school is teaching you real good. They didn't sue the fucking school. They didn't sue the school because I built an ashtray in kindergarten. They just kept that ashtray and, put their pipes in it. And then later on, around Christmas time, they dragged it out. And it's like, this is the ashtray my kid made in kindergarten. Now I'd be right there drinking and smoking with them and like going, yeah. Yeah, but if some kid made an ashtray in kindergarten today, they would destroy that school in an eco-friendly manner. They would find a way to do it. Like some kid makes an ashtray in there, they're like, what are you teaching our kids? And then they would like order a city inspection, and this inspector would find asbestos in the school because it's an old school and it has asbestos in it. And go, oh my God, this school needs to be torn down, and we have to do something about this. And the whole neighborhood would say yes, because they're progressive. And they would grind that school up into dust, and then they would like separate all the asbestos in it, and they would build a concrete brick out of like the dust they'd like created and hide all the asbestos in the dust so they couldn't poison the environment. They just make it a stable molecule, And then the rest of the school would just be like all recycled plastic. So it'd just be like this like bouncy like thing that like kids can learn in. It'll just be all safe. It'll be a safe school. And kids will walk in there and learn marketing. Then that's all they'll learn. They'll learn all the marketing. It'll be great. And like how things work. Like you just push a button. And that's what it'll be like. And that's what the future will be like. That's what I expect if some kid made an ashtray in kindergarten today. See, I'm worried about the kids of 2040. I'm not worried about, like, kids that are getting born today are, like, already traumatized, but they're already traumatized because their parents were already traumatized because they lived through 9/11. Like, their parents were, like, terrified of 9/11. They were 6 years old, and they became millennials. That's how they became millennials. And all these traumatized kids are raising these traumatized kids now because they're all 20. They're having kids because they were all traumatized. They're like, this is stupid, like, raw USA and everything, And then they're having kids in the middle of COVID. These same 6-year-olds, like, can you imagine what their kids are going to be like? Like, those kids are going to have shock treatment just to remove all the reincarnations from all this trauma. And that's what I'm building. I'm actually building, like, some sort of station in the future because I have business ideas. Like, I'm just building concepts from now on, like just science fiction concepts, because I'm tired of living on my knees. That's right. I have business ideas, but I'm a stand-up comic, but my life has been horrible because everything's been shut down for a year, so I don't make any money. So I've just become a mad scientist. That's all I've done. I've become a mad scientist. That's it. I'm just annoyed. I'm not working on a COVID vaccine. I'm just going to make a dog without any bones in his face. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to breed a bunch of soft dogs until I get a dog that doesn't have any bones in his face. And then I'm going to sell it. Because people will see it and feel sad about how cute it is. It's like a novel concept for a dog. It is. It's a novel concept for a dog. Because people will always be smiling at you by design, first off, and it will have sad eyes. It'll have sad eyes because most dogs have sad eyes. And people will buy this dog, and it'll be happy because it was bred that way, and it'll totally love you. And its tongue will flick out every once in a while from the smile and everything. And people will walk up to it and go, oh my God, this dog is so cute. Let me give you $19 a month to rescue it from its own genetics. And that's how you make your living. You'd just be walking around this empathy cart like an ice cream truck, That's what it'll be like. Like everybody will show up, even if they're broke, and just give you money just to save this dog. And respect you because you're taking care of it. Yeah, and that's super important if you're rich. Because how are you going to get the things that you need from, society? Oh, man. I am a mad scientist. I actually want to make an athlete's foot medication with nicotine in it. Yeah, just so people can get addicted to having clean feet. That's what I want to do. That's my mad science. Because It'd be a better thing for the world. Just put nicotine in athlete's foot medication. Because it takes 2 weeks to cure athlete's foot, and nobody with athlete's foot has a real work ethic or is committed to anything. So you just smear cream on your feet for 3 days, and then it goes away, and you think, oh, I'm done with it. Having to do things for like 2 weeks when I'm already like healthy is not a concept in my life. And athlete's foot keeps coming back. You know? So that's what I'm going to do. Make an athlete's foot medication with nicotine in it. It'll take 2 weeks to fix it, and then you decide whether you want to like still use the cream. That's my concept because I need money. That's what I'm going to do. And people like to smoke, and they like to get their nicotine in weird ways. Why not just smear it on your feet? And my product's going to be called Just Get Addicted to Having Clean Feet, $9.99. Because like it'll fit on the tube. And it'll be a big tube, so you think you're getting a real value, you know? But also we'll be selling it in the dollar stores for like 99 cents because it'll be built cheap. It'll be built cheap because nicotine's cheap. I mean, I don't know if it's not that cheap, but I'm about 20 cigarettes worth of nicotine in it, so it'll be worth it. Yeah. Also, not really a mad science thing, but I'm going to make a bunch of Dark Side Star Wars memorabilia. That's what I'm going to do. Because that's an easy way to make money. It's an easy way to make money. All you got to do is like replicate the packaging. And they're already doing 3D printing like right now. You can replicate anything and replicate it perfectly. So, I'm going to make a bunch of Dark Side Star Wars memorabilia. I'm just going to sell illegal Dark Side Star Wars memorabilia. I'm just going to sell Luke Skywalker's original hand from Empire Strikes Back. I'm selling Luke Skywalker's original hand from Empire Strikes Back in a bag. And I'm going to sell it for $300 because I want to make money. And people will buy the hand if they're a true Star Wars fan, and they'll choke themselves with the original hand because that's what they're into. That's what they're into. They're into choking themselves because that's what Star Wars is all about. Because if you're a rebel, you need to be choked. And these kids will buy all these hands for $300 because they make tons of money being pussies and just working for like some marketing building that, like, you know, has ping pong tables in it. You know? All these nerds are trying to like form an algorithm that'll make everyone popular. It's like, fuck, you know? Talk about really wanting to be a Nazi, right? But back to like what I'm actually selling here. I'm selling a Dark Side Star Wars item, a toy. I'm selling a toy. And it's going to have all the weight of a real hand. It'll have all the weight of a real hand. And it'll have like little bones in it, so you know there's some value to the item you're buying. And it'll have really flexible packaging, so that when you're like jerking yourself off with Luke Skywalker's hand, or just choking yourself with it, or throwing it in somebody's lap, it'll actually like seal hermetically so that it never loses its value. You know, just have the mint quality of like an original Luke Skywalker hand forever, unless you take it out of the box. It'll be very hard to do because it's science. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to make a bunch of those hands. And then I'm going to make money. And then Disney's going to catch wind of it. Because Disney owns Star Wars right now. Like, Disney owns nostalgia. So they own everything. So they're going to see all these hands crawling all over the internet. They're going to think, oh, I want some money off of this. And they're going to sue me for the concept of ripping them off. And then Disney will just sue me into existence because that's the only way to do it. They'll just sue me into existence, and then I'll be like a spokesperson for something. Whatever it is, smoking in bars. That's my angle. mechanically separated chicken, whatever pays. Whatever pays better than like doing comedy in a parking lot on a Sunday. That's right. That's my business plan. Yeah. Also, I want to make a Tide Pod that's edible and also able to get out tough stains. Because that's the real challenge. That's the real challenge. You got to make a Tide Pod that's edible and able to get out tough stains. Because then all laundry detergent has to be edible. Because all this other laundry detergent will be killing kids. Because kids love the smell and they love the taste of laundry detergent. So as soon as I make one that's edible, all laundry detergents have to be edible to save kids. And that's $1 billion idea and a Nobel Prize. Anyways. Oh, that's been about 15 minutes, right? Nobody can tell. But that's been 15 minutes. I'm Mike Coppolino. I do stand-up comedy. I mean, those are like flyers for stuff. If you want to pick a flyer up or get something, it'll be at the Mutiny Information Cafe. I do this every like Sunday and Monday. Just tell jokes for like 20 minutes. And if somebody wants to tell jokes and they have like a cheap microphone like this, they can do it. They can act like a person in a sports bar forever. That's what comedy's all about. Just acting like people in sports bars, only like smart ones. Anyways, that's been it. That's been it. I'm on drugs. I'm Mike Coppolino. You know it. This is a concept album. Because it's a concept for not getting paid at comedy clubs, right? Anyways, that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's 22 minutes. See, I can't keep track of time. It's just like, I mean, that's like a callback, kind of. It's a callback to my life. All right. Thank you.